Hell, what's up, y'all? I was popping this D about to react to this Jubilee vid. This is just all Gen Z think the same. Jesus Christ. We about to see what they talking about. I'm gonna keep it 1,000 with y'all. I don't like Gen Z. Like, I mean, that is clear if you've watched even a few of my videos. But a lot of y'all be doing too fucking much. Like, goddamn, there's a reason why y'all are the most depressed generation ever. Because y'all do too fucking much. Not everything is that serious or that deep. You take life way too serious, and y'all are young. Like, a lot of y'all are in high school writing these fucking dissertations about, well, you shouldn't because these people struggle with this and you should not say that. And why would you offend the such and such community? And shut up. Sure, you can stand up for some things, but goddamn, everything don't need to be a battle. That's why you unhappy and miserable, sis, because you do too fucking much. Relax, you know? But we're going to see what these Gen Z people have to say. Obviously, it's not all of Gen Z. You know, some of y'all are cool as fuck, but some of y'all need to get high somewhere or something. Shit, I'm not condoning drug use, but anyway, let's see what they're talking about. Let's watch. And that's going to be something else. Dang, I'm so disappointed in you. Why? How could you say that people should smoke weed? Why would you just tell people to do that?
In my household, my opinion is not valid, and it will never be valid as long as I live. My parents will yell at me, they'll get mad at me, and we'll get into, like, such large arguments. It's even gotten to the point of one time where I've gotten into arguments with my parents, like, you're going to have to move out if you don't, like, agree with these things.
That's how that works. You in a house, bumming off them, living rent free. Whether you ask to be here or not is irrelevant. You here and you a bum, a freeloader.
I sent or received nudes.
Oh, y'all slipping.
3,
I ain't never
2,
did this
1,
as a
go.
kid. I just recently, y'all.
If one day I want to get a certain job or go into a
Jen who?
office, I just don't want to have
I know you fucking lying, Daniel.
Even when
Daniel is in nobody's Gen Z. What are the years? Because Daniel is lying to niggas. Hold up. No, I'm going to let you talk,
people
Daniel.
send me nudes, I'm like,
Get your shit
I
off.
don't necessarily need that. Like,
Wait,
mix when they're just,
wait.
you know.
Are we saying nudes?
It's
Nudes.
Gen Z.
Oh my god, I thought we were saying news. N-E-W-S.
Ain't no way this man is
I
younger
don't
than
send nudes
24.
because I just do things on social media. I want to pursue acting. I feel like my body's a temple. You gotta pay to see it, if at least. Same as Daniel said.
No.
It can come back and bite you. I'm just scared.
Revenge porn is very real, and I think most women or women adjacent people have received unsolicited pics.
As like a bisexual person
Yeah,
and kind of just being in like a world that's hyper sexualized already, and it sucks because that's kind of like the age of social media and like LGBTQ youth, is that pretty much like they have to seek validation online. That's like really like the way to do it.
I agree exactly with what Makai said. I mean, it is like the form of validation now. Like sending nudes is love, but
What?
which
This
hurts.
makes me
That's
just
what
want
y'all
to. This makes me just want to jump over it because I feel like I'm in the wrong area. You know, we're gonna go here.
If you like, they should respect your values. If you don't want to send nudes,
Nigga,
and
this is
if
saying
not,
if you
like,
done it
it's
or not,
really
not if you
clear to me that
agree.
They're just using me for my
What are you
body.
talking about?
Nudes has a lot to do with appearance and putting a lot of value on how you appear can just sometimes be
I was talking
damaging.
too much. Let me
To
listen.
piggyback off that, it's really important too, like when you're growing up, no matter like your body type or how you look, everyone has like beauty in them. So it's important to love your body and love like, how you look. Because like, girl, that's your body. Like, flaunt what you got, boo. That validation needs to come from within.
This is what get on my this is what get on my fucking nerves about Gen Z. And I'm not saying I'm not saying what he's saying isn't valid. I'm not saying that at all. But y'all try so fucking hard to be politically correct, and it's like, shut up. You know, that's how I feel to Gen Z. Shut up.
Within, not from other people.
I'm sorry.
It's like, I know I'm sexy. I don't even know if I'm sexy.
I mean, period. But
period too. Is that funny?
oh,
Skinny
shit.
jeans are out of style.
Nigga, I wear what I want,
2,
but I don't wear skinny
1,
jeans no more.
go.
Where my little eyelash thing? Cause what y'all not about to do is mess up my little lashes.
I don't know. It was just the era of the time. It was like rock was like, you know, pop rock lots of skinny jeans, and then turned to like ripped jeans. And I think pants are getting bigger. I don't know if it's because like maybe we're shifting more towards like androgyny. I'm over here because I think that skinny jeans, I don't like them, and I would wear them because I also have like chicken legs, so like that's not happening
Wait,
for
is
me.
it out of style or in style?
The question was skinny jeans are out of style.
Oh, so I'm saying that they are in style?
Yeah, skinny jeans.
Oh, no, they're out of style.
I recently bought my like first pair of like
I don't
baggier
even see
jeans,
them in
kind of
the
like
store
what
like
he's
that.
wearing, and I was like blown away. Honestly, like
Especially
there's so
for
much
dudes,
space.
they
You
should
don't
not
have to
wear
worry about
that.
it like bunching up and stuff. Like I don't know why we ever stuck with skinny jeans to begin with.
I think the whole skinny jeans side part thing is generational politics that are trying to like distract us from what we actually disagree about. Like nobody actually cares about the skinny jeans and middle parts. Like millennials, please stop making songs about it. It's not that deep.
I get my news from YouTube. 3, 2, 1, go.
Of course. I look on CNN because that's where they.
I just somewhat disagree because I try not to just, stay on YouTube because it can be a lot of disinformation, but I also feel like, I follow a lot of political YouTubers and I feel like their perspectives are different than what's on the mainstream because like 3 corporations own all of the media.
Social news, Twitter, 100% easily. But like if it's like some political stuff, I have like subscriptions to like New York Times, even Fox and stuff, just so that I get a perspective from everyone. And I tend to go ahead and like focus more on like the journalism stuff. And YouTube is like the headlines, but I don't click the video and like deliberately watch it until I've known the facts.
The ability of Twitter to get, opinions out there from people who aren't political pundits is really valuable. And, when big things happen, Twitter usually hears about it first.
I feel like it kind of just comes down to like a media literacy thing, and it's something that like our generation and further generations are gonna have to face. We haven't been in this era where there's like what Sarah was saying about like the democratized way of social media where like everyone can say information. We're like in this new era where we pretty much have to learn how to decipher which is valuable and valid information and what's not. And like as social media continues to grow, I feel like we're just gonna keep becoming more literate.
And I feel like we should be taught this in schools. We're in a whole new era. Like we grew up with like tablets and laptops, whereas like older generations didn't, which allows us obviously to have more diverse opinions. But I think that should be taught in school as well.
Do your guys' parents ever just?
I'm not even laughing at what they're saying. I'm laughing at my thoughts. I got some shady thoughts, but I'm just not gonna.
Did you know this happened? You're like, yeah, it happened like
I'm
5
leaving
hours
these
ago.
little
And you're
niggas
like,
alone.
did you just find out now?
It's usually fake
Not about how
news
they
at
look.
all.
Oh my
It's
god.
usually fake news.
My mom, she gets news from Facebook.
Same,
Literally, she
same,
calls me. She's
same,
like, did you
yeah.
hear about this? Like, mom, that's right. She's like, it is.
Yeah.
Like my mom, when she was on Instagram, she was like, she was seeing the wrong stuff, and then she was like, the vaccine, those microchips, and I was like, Mom.
I think it's also important to think about like why people believe that. Like, yeah, it's like stupid and it's funny to make fun of, but like people are afraid of like, really rich people who are going to be like controlling a lot of stuff without, democratic elections and without any accountability. And it makes sense that people would feel like, I don't really know if I can trust the government.
My parents and I agree on political and social
Oh,
issues.
definitely not.
3, 2,
All y'all
1,
pretty gotta
go.
strongly disagree. Oh, okay. Some of y'all got some.
My parents like raised me again on the whole thing of like look at every single side, and I guess it didn't go necessarily their way, but at the same time like sometimes it ends up being a wreck, but like whenever it's a wreck we come back and we're like, I see your point, but here's what I think and here's why, loaded with facts, not just like, oh I think this because this and this and this X and X and said. No, it's because this is a percentage, this is a statistic that I'm pointing out.
Honestly, I used to try and like show them a different perspective and like have an open conversation, but like I'm kind of at the point now where it's like, you know what, let's just not talk about it. It's probably for the best.
My parents always say to me, like, you pay attention to politics more than we do, and we, like, learn from you. And sometimes we get into little arguments. That can be a good, like, way to sort of inform each other, because obviously they have more experience, like, historically, like, what went on. But they can also say, like, yeah, I don't understand, this specific issue. Can you, get me up to speed? And
I would like to have a disclaimer for my mom and dad. What's coming out of my mouth is coming out through love. Also, if they're watching this, please stop watching this. My parents are very closed-minded and conservative, and there have been fights, as in Daniel's family. I feel like in my household, my opinion is not valid, and it will never be valid as long as I live. I don't want to be quiet about the things, and I want to speak up and share my
that's
opinion.
sad
But
that that's
when
the
it
case
comes
in
to
a lot
that,
of
my
households.
parents will yell at me. They'll get mad at me, and we'll get into like such large arguments. It's even gotten to the point of one time where I've gotten into arguments with my parents with like, you're gonna have to move out if you don't like agree with these things. And it's like, I understand what you're saying, all, but you're telling me that if I don't do what you're saying, what you think is correct, I'm not allowed to think what I think is correct because what you think is correct is concrete.
Kind of similar but different. Like I'm actually grateful that my parents and I have different political opinions, because I think it's kind of forced me to try and see the other side and try to understand why they think a certain way.
Sometimes those disagreements are fundamental to your identity. Like, they say a lot about how you look at the world, how you treat other people, and it's hard to separate that. I don't want to be friends with someone who thinks that, like, people who are poor or unhoused people or do that because it's their choice. Because that's a fundamental disagreement with what I believe.
That's fair, but also family, I feel like, is different. They're immigrants. There are certain issues that they won't, fully understand. Yes, it would be nice if they tried to.
It's very different with it, like friends or like your parents. Or
Exactly,
family.
yes.
I agree 100% with Daniel. My parents came from Romania. It was communist at that point, so their views on the world are not going to be the same as everyone's as like they were, So it changes because where you come from is so different from America.
I have felt depressed. 3, 2, 1, go.
What the fuck I say? What the fuck I say at the beginning?
There are a lot of points where it is romanticized, and I think it's a difficult struggle. And also, I think like within like the Black community, there also is just not a lot of attention to mental health at all. Obviously, there's points where I feel flustered and I feel like everything's crumbling around me, and that's like a very common human thing.
People want to talk about how depressed they are until you're like, hey, I haven't taken a shower in 4 weeks and I can't get out of bed and I haven't been eating food. And they're like, ew, that's gross. It's like, that's what depression is.
Especially with our generation, what ends up happening is that some small thing happens and we're depressed. The term is just used so loosely. When you say comments like that, it takes away the power, in a sense, from like people that actually are seeking help.
So I'm about to have a really vulnerable moment with y'all.
Give on.
So my whole life, I have been so bullied, and words hurt so much.
Aww.
And 6 months ago, I almost took my life because of like words. They have this effect on you, and sometimes you can't talk to people about.
No, Theo.
And my friend's mom posted, if you needed to talk to someone, to call this number, and I talked to them. And
I'm not gonna cry. It's just on
for 2 hours by myself at nighttime. And if it wasn't for her just doing that, I feel like I wouldn't have been here today.
Aww. I'm glad she was there.
Can I give you a hug?
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for sharing that.
Oh, thank you.
That takes a lot of guts to speak up about it.
My whole life, I've wanted to show kindness through me, and I hope that I do show kindness to others, because I don't want other people to feel the same way I felt, because if I can help someone feel that smile or that joy from me, it would mean everything to me, because it means that I'm fighting what other people did to me.
I don't really like it when people like compare their depressions, because like saying like someone else is not depressed, because you don't really...
Yeah, because I definitely thought that. Speak on it, purple hair. Because I thought about that when that chick was like, oh, I ain't showered in 4 weeks. That's depression. So in order to be depressed, you got to be stanky for 4 weeks. That's not what that means, girl. Nobody's saying that you didn't experience that. Your experience is valid. But don't try to be like, oh, well, that's what depression look like. That's why I ain't showered in a month. Like,
really know what
everybody
they like
handles
feel,
shit
but
different.
I'm really glad that people are like talking about it now, and that we can all like bond over it. I'm truly thinking that like the pressure that's put on our generation with social media is what like causes it. But yeah, I'm really glad that like people talk about it, so we have resources and stuff.
I am optimistic about the future.
They gonna say no.
3, 2,
I know they gonna say
1, go.
Okay, they're trying to talk.
personally, it's in my nature to not be optimistic because I think a lot of people in our generation are very nihilistic. I try not to like view it like that because it's very like deterministic. Like, well, the world's going to hell, like we can't do anything. And if you believe that, then like you're not fighting for like a better world and you're not fighting for change.
I'm very much with Sarah on the point where our generation is very cynical, very nihilistic. We like to just like assume that things can't be fixed because in the past they just never were. I don't know. I think I'm very optimistic for the future because I believe as we become more educated and we have more resources to certain things and information, we can do great things, but we just have to believe that we can or else it won't happen.
Now I'm feeling sad about saying someone disagree. I just was thinking about this in like the climate perspective and like social media, how it's been used so negatively. When I think about those two major things, I can't see it stopping anywhere.
It's a little unimaginable. It's like you can't.
I want to be positive, of course, and I want the change to happen, but like where does it start?
I try to be positive, and I always say, like, if there's something you don't like, we can work on it and fix it. And I think that this generation in particular is really good at that. Like, Gen Z is crazy. Like, we get things done. The impact we've had with like TikTok even, like, yeah, we changed a lot of things.
I feel like we have come far as a society, but doesn't mean I'm also not disappointed in our society. There's so many things that we've gotten to like build upon as a society and people are growing upon as a society. And you know what? After like meeting you guys today, I'm not gonna lie, I feel like there's hope.
On a more societal point of view, I feel very good that like change will occur whether we like it or not. That's just how society is. We progress.
That is officially a wrap.
All right, I had to take a quick call, but yeah, these people they were cool for the most part. Especially Theo, he seemed really sweet, and I felt for him when he was talking about his experience. But yeah, I just feel like for the most part, Gen Z, they unnecessarily stress themselves out. They complicate their lives unnecessarily. Like, it's just a whole bunch of extra shit. It's like, y'all need to enjoy y'all youth. Just have a good time. That's all you need to be worried about at this age. Like, it's just so odd when I see the things that Gen Z people be saying online. I have a lot of Gen Z people in my family, and just observing what they're going through and what they talking about. It's like, bro, what? Like, even them talking about, oh, are you optimistic for the future? And how could we be optimistic when the current climate, and how could we see a better tomorrow? It's so bad. It's like, why are you worried about that? As a teenager, I was worried about boys. What college am I about to get lit at? Like, what I'm about to do this weekend? That's where your focus should be. Why are you worried about all this extra shit? Enjoy your youth. Enjoy not having to pay rent, not having any major responsibilities. That's where your focus needs to be. Just having a good time. And I'm not saying you can't, be a little mini activist and try to help people and fight for a better tomorrow. Sure, you can do all that, but that is not what I usually am seeing. Let's be clear. Let's not act like Gen Z, they just saving the world. Because no, I see a lot of them just depressed, talking about, but this community is this, and oh, but I'm a victim of this, and I got PTSD and bipolar, and I got this and that. They be diagnosing themselves online, Googling shit, and convincing themselves they got all these mental disorders. It's just a whole bunch of nonsense. So it's just like, why are you doing this? Go outside. Go outside and make some friends and have a good time. But why are you doing all this to yourself? It's just extra. Go with the flow of life. Because I'm sorry to break it to you, despite your greatest efforts, there are going to be a lot of things that happen in life that are outside of your control. Don't worry about that. Just worry about the things you can control and do the best you can. That's all you need to do. Why are y'all doing all this extra shit? I don't get it. I don't understand it at all. But hey, live your life how you want. If you want to learn the hard way, have at it. But yeah, y'all have been reported many, many times of being the most depressed generation, and that is not by accident. Y'all do too much. Sit down and and stop worrying about this shit. But I don't think y'all should be concerned with a lot of things y'all be concerned with. But anyway, that's just my opinion. Do what you want. Interesting video though, to see in their different perspectives. They were very articulate and they seemed like nice Gen Zers. Daniel though, I'm still a bit confused at what his age is, cause he just looked like a full grown man with facial hair. Anyway, y'all let me know what y'all thought though. Let me know what other videos you want me to watch, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye.